That's a good one.
I love it.
Do I go?
Go.
Okay, so we
Oh,
have...
wait.
Oh, wait.
Because they should be able to hear you too.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a gratitude. I am grateful for being in the presence of my lovely daughter. I am grateful for the experience of my emotions. I am grateful for more income. I am grateful for Alan Voss Tress. I am grateful for him sharing his finances. Mwah.
Nice. So if you have a gratitude, you can write a gratitude down and put it in the gratitude box that's in the foyer, and we'll read those and share those. Sometimes a shared gratitude is really powerful.
Yes. All right. I don't know if these have been read, but I'm going to do it anyway.
We wouldn't remember.
Yeah. The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man's question contains half the answer. These are the
Make you think.
Yeah.
Wait, it's daylight savings time. I don't know if I can think yet.
Yeah, that clock hasn't been changed.
Oh,
I changed it in the room, in the other room, but okay.
I'll try not to go too long. I'll look at the second hand and not the
It's it's still the same, but
Okay.
just the mind's direction is more important than its progress. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Every extreme attitude is a fight from the self. That's really true.
Ooh. We're going to talk about that today.
All right, some humor. Let's see.
I apologize in advance for new people.
We like humor because it helps us open up and be ready for the message.
Yes.
Who makes the best exploding underwear?
SpongeBob SquarePants?
Flute of the bloom of the boom. Fruit of the bloom. I ruined that one.
No, you didn't. It was bad to start with.
What do you call a grizzly bear caught in a rain shower?
Wet.
Yeah. A drizzly bear.
Oh.
What did you say about a wise man and the questions?
Yeah, a wise man and the question.
Here, let me see if I can pull that up again.
Wise man's question holds half the answer.
A wise man's questions contain half the answer.
Unless they're bad dad jokes, and then all bets are off.
Okay, one more.
One more.
What kind of songs are balloons afraid of?
Pop rock.
Pop songs.
Pop songs.
Yahoo!
Good job.
Okay, let's see what this book has to offer us to enlighten us.
It's a new one, isn't it?
Mhm. Happy Birthday to You is the most often sung song in America. The bumblebee
Always
beat-
off key.
Yeah.
Always. I've never heard it on key.
The bumblebee beats its wings about 160 times a second.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's impressive.
Sleeping Beauty slept for 100 years. Who knew that? I mean,
didn't
isn't
know
it a
that.
fictitious character?
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth I had more than 2,000 dresses.
Wow.
She'd never wear them all.
Right.
More than once. And they weren't sewn. They had to pin
Oh,
everything
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So getting dressed was like, sheesh.
Plus the corset, maybe. I don't know if that was that time
Oh, man.
in history,
I don't know.
but boy, I would hate to suck it up. As you can tell.
I'm just glad girls are now allowed to wear pants.
Oh,
Yes.
amen to that.
I grew up when we were not allowed to wear pants.
So one more. Sharks are the only fish that can blink with both eyes. Now you know.
Church is important learning stuff,
Yes.
right?
And now it's your turn.
Well, thank you, big hand for Vicki. So Vicki's here to help. She'll do music for us and all that stuff. That's in a minute. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff I want to tell you today. Share with you. First thing I have to tell you is a funny story. So yesterday, Phil dragged me to a Porsche Club meeting. It's not my thing really, but you know, I do it for him. Because he goes off and talks car stuff to guys, and then I have to sit around and talk to people that I don't know, that don't have any interest in any of this stuff. So anyway, there was a guy there that brought his dog, and as soon as he opened the car door, the dog took off and ran wherever. So there was a vineyard over here and then a subdivision over there. So he was freaking out. It was time for us to go, and he still hadn't found the dog yet. So we were driving around the neighborhood looking at stuff. But when we pulled up next to me, he said, I still can't find the dog. I am dead. My girlfriend's going to just kill me. And so Phil said, well, we'll help you look. And I said, I'm praying about it first. So I prayed about it. Help us find this dog. So went past, and there were a couple people working in their yard, and so I rolled down my window and said, have you seen this little dog? And they, no, but if we see him, we'll hold on to him until you get back. I said, okay, thanks. And then drove around and down and around another corner, and there was another lady standing out there, because we'd been driving up and down and around the subdivision for 10, 20 minutes. Maybe longer than that, because we were supposed to be here to open the door for a class, and I was getting a little frantic because we were running out of time. Anyway, rolled down the window. Phil asked her, have you seen a little dog running around? She said, yeah. As a matter of fact, my son's friend picked it up. Let me see if they'll bring it down. And I said, okay. So I was trying to contact the guy that owned the dog. Anyway, they had taken the dog to the vet to get the chip because he didn't have a collar on him or anything. So I was calling this guy and saying, oh, he's at this vet, and go look for him there, and here's the vet, and here's where it's at. It's near Yokes, blah, blah, blah. So the dog got found, but he got there. And the vet said, well, what's the dog's name? I said, well, it's Scruffy. The dog's name's Scruffy. And they said, well, that's not what's written on the chip. But they said, let's see. So the dog ran to him and ran up and, looked really like it was part of it. And then the dog ran off. So I thought, well, could have been yours. But so they had to call his girlfriend who was coming home from Kabul. I said, oh, dear Lord. And they said, so we need to know the real name of your dog that's on the certificate. It's something like Scruffykins or something. I don't know what it was. And so she said, she gave him the name and she said, can I talk to? Hold the phone out here. And he said, I'm the dead man. I'm just a dead man. I'm glad we found the dog. But what are the chances of somebody just happened to be in their yard and their son just happened to know the kid that found the dog and asked if it was their dog? Miracle. Yeah. Miracle. Prayers work. I tell you, prayers work. If you got to do anything going on, do a prayer. Do a prayer. That's not really what we're talking about today, but kind of sort of. At the first of the year, I asked you to find a word for the year. Pick a word for the year for yourself. And my word was real. So I can be real, radiant, energetic, authentic, light. That's what I wanted. That's what I want this year to be about. So, funny story today. Another funny story. So, I was asking Phil, because that authentic part, that's kind of hard, isn't it? It's hard to be real. Hard to be real. We were at breakfast the other day, and I said, so I'm working on Sunday's message. I said, you think we need to talk about? He says, yeah. When people get distressed with one another, it would be really important if people would say, when you say that, rather than saying, stop being negative, or don't act like that, or stop complaining, instead of just going on attack mode, if people could just say, I'm feeling really vulnerable when you talk about that, could we? Good suggestion, Phil. Funny story. So, finish breakfast, take the dog for a walk. Sure enough, out on the walk, he starts talking politics. I don't know about you, but that's not my favorite subject. It never was, never will be. And now it's even worse. So anyway, whatever side of the coin you are on, it doesn't matter. It's just not pretty. So I said, Phil, when you talk about politics, I feel really vulnerable because there's nothing I can do to make you feel better about it. There's nothing I can do. I voted. That's the best I can do about that. And so I'm wondering if we could kind of like change the subject. He got it. He thought it was hilarious. He said one more little comment. And I said, that's really awful, isn't it? And then we moved on to something else. Because people just play, ain't it awful? You know, oh, this is horrible things going on. Well, ain't it awful? There's not a darn thing we can do about it. It's just an ain't it awful thing. So, but saying ain't it awful didn't really shift the gears. But honey, when you talk about that, I feel really vulnerable. Because, and see, what was really cool is I wasn't attacking him for doing that, because he needed to vent. Please find somebody else to vent to. You know, I don't really want to talk about it. But that being vulnerable is really hard, because I wasn't in attack mode. He gave me the words to say, thank goodness. But it wasn't about attacking him for doing that, because in my head, my heart, I understand. He needs to vent. He needs, you know, he sees stuff or reads stuff. I mean, you can't help it. You're scrolling through something and it's going to pop up. It's not that he goes seeking it. It's kind of shows up. Anyway, but that being vulnerable, that being real, I don't have to go into attack mode. I didn't have to try to crush him or put him down or make him stop. All I had to do is be my authentic self, be real. And that was really scary, to be vulnerable in that way. And to know that when I said I'm feeling vulnerable because I feel helpless, to make it feel better for you, that gave him a choice of how he could respond. He could respond positively or he could respond negatively about that. And that's part of what this being vulnerable is. But being vulnerable is really part of this being authentic. And by being authentic, then I felt like I could really be the rest of the real, the radiant part, the energetic part. I could be light. Because I wasn't angry. I wasn't harboring this negative feeling of just shut the heck up. I don't want to hear that crap. You know, I mean, I could have said that, and that would not have been as supportive or as helpful, would it? So this vulnerable is really, really important. There are a couple of Bible verses that I really want us to hear about this. First of all, I want to tell you what Jesus had to say. Matthew 15, verse 18. But the things that proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and those defile a man. Let me read that again. But the things that proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and those defile a man. He was being criticized, I think, because he hadn't washed his hands before he ate. He says, it's not going to defile you to eat that. Yeah, or actually he was being criticized, or people were criticizing one another because, oh, you shouldn't eat that food and you shouldn't eat this food, and this is a sacred day, and on that day you're not supposed to eat this, whatever. You know, Jesus had a lot of rules. But he's talking about what comes out of your mouth is what defiles you, not what you put in your body. You know, pray about it. Put it in your body gently. And then in Proverbs 4:23, watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the springs of life. Watch over your heart. And I think that's what Bill was talking about when he was talking about speaking this truth of I'm feeling vulnerable, because that's truth. And when we speak the truth, we're not harming anybody else. Sometimes our words are so painful, are they not? I don't know about you, but I think sometimes people's words hurt me more than any other physical thing that's ever happened to me. And it's not just words, it's tone of voice. You ever notice that? that voice of disdain. Refrain from disdain. And that's how we can watch over our heart with all diligence. And by using this phrase, when you talk about that, I feel vulnerable. This is setting a boundary, but it's not a retaliatory thing. It's not I'm setting this boundary out of anger and hatred, and that's not a pretty thing. We can set a boundary that's gentle and beautiful and sweet and kind, because that's who we are. And I think when we hear other people speaking things that are so harsh and hurtful and hateful, I don't know about you, that just breaks my heart. And again, that voice of disdain, it's that contempt. And when we have to hear that, that goes into our being, that goes into our soul, goes into the spiritual part of us. Now, there's a spiritual part of us that is untouched by the world, right? We know that, right? And that part of us is sacred and divine, divinely connected. Unfortunately, the brain takes a hold of what we hear, and then it turns on it and works on it, then aggravates on it. And then we end up bitter, angry, hostile. I don't know about you, I don't want to live like that. That's not fun. That's not any fun. Because then we tell ourselves a story. Well, you know what he did. You know what she did. You know what that person did. How is that helpful to us being real? I don't know about you, but that dims that radiance for me. So the stories run in your head. I want you to think about it. Ponder this. Your heart is where the springs of life emanate from. Want to have more energy? Get in your heart space. Clear the head. Clear the head. Now the head, the brain, the mind is this powerful search engine. And it will seek what you're looking for. Seek and you shall find? Yeah. If we're seeking evidence, if I'm seeking evidence that Phil is critical, will I find it? Well, if I'm seeking for evidence that this world is a hurtful place for me to exist, will I find that? Yeah. If I'm searching, if I'm seeking, if I tell myself that this world is full of love and light and joy, will I find that? And there you are, right? Yeah. Marking back on. Here I am. What story have you got running in your head? What's your truth about who you are? And see, that's the thing. Fear is a liar is a song we sang this morning. Fear tells us an untruth. Why? Because fear wants us to stay safe. It's trying to keep us protected. Shields up, Scotty. We can't let anybody in. We can't let anybody see the real you because that's scary. That's what fear has to say. But the truth is, when we can open up, we're safer than when we're shut down. When we're shut down, I can't feel my world around me. I'm very sensitive to the world around me. And that's good news, bad news, right? The good news is that I am sensitive and I am aware. And the bad news is, oh, there it is, I feel it. The good news about all that is I came here to change that. If you're empathic, you came to change the world. How do we do that? We don't just suck it up. You know, it's kind of like the Bounty paper towel, a quicker sucker-upper, picker-upper. But we do, we just slurp up energy. The key is to notice it when it's out here and dismiss it before it ever gets to the physical form. And before I learned how to do that, I would draw this negative stuff into my body, and then it would take me days to process. Days to process. And if anything new came, oh, it was overloaded again. And it just was a real struggle. It took time for me to learn that my energy field is a sacred space for me. And that if I feel that energy hit that sacred space starting to come in, instantly I'm aware, not as an angry pushback, but as a gentle, protecting my heart space, and allowing it to be what it is, but it doesn't affect me. And what happens? It grounds it out. Grounds it out. So part of me can hear a little bit of what Phil has to say about the political environment right now. And then there's a limit. And then it's like, okay, that's all I can hear for now. And I can ground out that much. Anything more than that is overwhelming my soul. And so I get to now acknowledge that in a way that was supportive of us both. So rather than saying, stop talking about that stupid stuff, I don't have to go angry. And I think women have a harder time of this than men. I don't know. Maybe men have a harder time of this than women. I think we all have a harder time of this. But I think women have been taught that to be a strong woman, you have to be angry. Have you noticed that in movies? All the tough women are mean and angry and hostile and harsh. Nope, doesn't have to be that way. We get to be strong and gentle at the same time. Strong, powerful, and blessed at the same time. Do men have a problem with being strong and being hurtful? I don't know. We'll talk. We'll talk about that. So I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to minimize your journey either. So what's the story you got going on in your head? I guarantee you, this is going to be fun. I guarantee you the story you have in your head is actually your next step. The reverse of it. So what story you got going in your head? So let me give you an example of that. So speaking of Phil, he's not here, so I can use his name in vain. Phil can't stand when people make decisions from stupid information or not enough information. Ignorance just drives him nuts. So that's why he made his career in health insurance, so that he could bring people all of the options and they could make a wise choice. And whatever they choose, that's fine, because that's their choice. It's not his. He didn't care what decision they made as long as they had all the information. The very thing that aggravated him the most was where his purpose was. You know what aggravated me the most? People that were religious putting down psychic awareness. And that's where the Divine Fellowship came from. Jesus was a mystic, for heaven's sakes. If he can do it without blame, we can. So we get to be mystics. Some of us are just stuck in mystery, but that's a whole other story. So what story is stuck in your head? Story about yourself? Story about others? Story about your world? What's the negative story that fear has told you? Anybody want to share theirs? Oh, come on, I know you have. Am I the only one that tells myself stupid stories? Come on. Yeah, Pam.
One that keeps going through my head is, am I where I'm supposed to be?
Well, that's a question.
Because, and
so what's the story you're telling
the
yourself?
Story, oh, sorry. So the story that goes through my head is, am I supposed to be here, or am I supposed to be, Klamath Falls? Am I, supposed to be one of my other children? Because I feel like I'm so far away from all my family. And then I compare myself to my sister, who has all her family around her. And
okay, so there's the story.
There's the story.
There's the story, is I am not exactly like my sister, therefore I'm less than.
Right. Exactly.
My world is not okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what is, if you can look at that as, this is a lie. If it's making you uncomfortable, it's a lie.
Yeah, it does make
So
me sad and
So
angry.
shift that, and what's the truth?
I'm just as good, but I don't.
Okay,
But
wherever I am is perfect for me.
wherever I am is perfect for me.
How does that feel?
That feels a lot better.
Yeah. And then you could choose. Doors open for you now. I could go here if I wanted. I could go there if I wanted. Wherever I go is perfect for me because it's my choice.
Right. I see that, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, those stories we tell ourselves are so powerful, they keep us locked down. And this says, watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the springs of life. Now you have the springs of life flowing, and you can make a new choice if you want. You can stay where you're at because it's your choice, but you feel more alive. So who else is burdened by a story? Stuck. Right behind you. Hand the mic right behind you. You.
Okay.
Mark, go for it.
Maybe that's my story.
It can't be me. I'm not worthy. No.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I like to get out there, and I always have to ask myself, "Oh, Mark, did you overdo it? Did you get
Oh.
out there too far?
So
Settle back."
so the lie here is, so fear wants you to keep safe and not go so far out, right? So fear wants you to back up a little bit. Let's stay safe in our little world. But what's your truth?
I want to get out there.
I want to be right. Wherever I choose to go, I'll be safe.
Yeah.
Because you're not going alone. You're going with spirit. You're going with divine source.
Yeah.
I'm guided by spirit. I can't make a mistake in this.
I got a weird spirit.
Yeah, you do.
It takes me to weirdness.
Yeah, you do. But that's okay. We love that part of it. How does that feel?
That feels good.
Because fear just wants you safe. It's not the enemy, but it is a liar.
Yeah.
So the truth then sets you free and gives you this energy. And then from this powerful place, we can speak our truth with this gentleness and kindness and love. Because we're coming from a place of safe already. We don't need fear to keep us safe. Make
I
sense?
practice a lot, feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm
So,
gonna keep on getting out there.
so instead of feel the fear and do it anyway, feel the courage
Oh,
beyond the
Yeah.
fear.
yeah.
Step over the fear into courage.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Feels
That
good.
felt good. Could you feel his energy shift when we said that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Who else? Who else? One more. Right behind you.
So one of my fears, it goes right on the trail of Mark's. For me, I'm hesitant sometimes to speak out my truth, my full truth, because I acknowledge that all of us, we have choices, and I don't want to take away airspace from other people. I don't want to influence, to push, to bully, to convince, to project myself on other people. So at all times I have this internal battle. It's a conflict that takes up energy. Should I speak? Should I keep it quiet? It's
So-
a question. It's
No,
not a statement.
I get you. I'm processing. So there's a couple of things going on here. Let me address one thing and then get back to the specific of this. So again, we are often not taught how to speak our truth gently. So the fear comes from someone, you see other people stepping on other people's toes and hurting their feelings, right?
Yes,
And so there's a part of you that wants to avoid that.
yes.
So moving into your heart space and the truth of what your heart has to say, you could shift that into, I speak my truth with gentleness. And if you're being gentle, speak up. If God put it in your heart to say, who are you to question that? If God put it in your heart to say, and you feel, oh, I have something to say here, but I better not because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, then just wrap that concept in gentleness and speak up. So we haven't got there yet, have we? You haven't shifted yet.
No,
So
because I do that all the time.
what's the real fear here? Is the real fear stepping on someone's toes or keeping others from being heard? Taking time?
By if I am to speak up and project whatever I have, I may take over the room. I may take over everybody else. And by me taking over, or not me, but the message, it's not coming from me, I am I'm hurting other people. I'm forcing them to
Oh, I got it.
to
I got
raise
it.
up, and they are not ready.
Okay. So the fear is taking over. You're afraid
But I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, okay, well, we got to fine tune it. Well, let's fine tune it, okay? So the fear here, though, the real fear is taking over and not honoring other people's rights, right? Is that the real fear?
Yes, rights, choices, where they are.
So what part of you So the truth, so the lie you're telling yourself is my words, spoken with intensity, dishonor me and the other person. That feel right to you?
Can hurt, not dishonor, but yes.
Hurt. Okay. My words spoken with intensity hurt myself and others. Is that the truth? Is that how it feels?
Yes.
Okay. That's a lie. If that's a lie, what is the truth? So the truth is that enthusiasm is divinely sent.
It's something like speak it up, and whoever has a problem with you, you can just suck it up. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're not just dismissing somebody else's feelings.
I can speak my truth and search for the most loving way that I can say it with. Love is never hurting anybody.
And when you do that, when your words are wrapped with love and grace, if someone is hurt by that, they have a right and an obligation to speak to you about that in private. And then you can clear the air. If they turn on you and say something critical, like we're talking about here, then you can say, I feel really vulnerable when I'm trying to share my truth, and you take offense, as my truth here, I really want it to be with gentleness and kindness. How could I have said that better in a way that wouldn't have hurt you?
Thank you, Janice. Yes, that makes
So
that's a path forward. Thank you.
So you get to ask for clarity so that your words are clear, your intent is clear. How does that feel?
Yes.
Did you feel the shift?
I did.
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah. And see, this is a challenge. It takes a while to figure out because fear is a stinking liar, and it's so strong that saying that you can't speak your truth because it's hurtful. And that's not the truth. The truth is, if somebody reacts negatively, you can clarify because your heart is open and pure.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's do a guided meditation. And if somebody, so Vicki, if you'd get the lights here. And yeah. I want us to go, whew, I don't know about you, I gotta shift gears. Hold on, I'm gonna take a breath. Whew, big stuff. I don't know about you, it's big stuff. If you want help privately with your lie and finding your truth, you let me know, okay? Thank you, dear. Because I can talk to you after services and we'll get it clear. This is really big stuff, really big stuff. So let's just take a breath, shall we? This is big stuff. And now just breathe gently and bring your awareness into your heart space. Oh, this heart space. This is where we're putting our attention, because from it is where the life springs flow. And from it is what springs from our mouth, what comes from our mouth. And our intent is to be pure. Our intent is to be honorable. Our intent is to be kind. Our intent is to be gracious. So with that understanding, link your heart and your mind together. Notice them both, your heart and your mind. And now there's an energy portal at the top of your head. Allow that to open. It's always open, but allow it to open further. And this will connect you to Divine Spirit. There are many energy portals over the top of your head, and you'll be intuitively drawn to the one that's right for you today. Is it the golden portal? Maybe it's a blue portal. Maybe it's an orange portal or a yellow portal. Maybe it's copper colored or silver colored, or maybe it's iridescent. Whatever color or energy you are drawn to at this point in time is what is right for you, that your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being requires at this time. Divine Source is gifting you with what is right for you just now. And let that beautiful living light of love flow in through the top of your head and let it touch your mind. And all those little lies we've been harboring about ourselves, that life has tried to teach us that is untrue about our spiritual worth, our sacredness, our divine nature, let's just wash that away. And at the same time, any harshness that somebody's spoken to us, let it wash that away. It no longer applies. Letting more and more of this living light of love flow into your eyes. And the discernment centers over the tops of your eyebrows and the third eye, the center of your forehead, and the occipital lobes at the back of your head. This connects your perception circuit. You know how moms can see from the back of their head? That's this perception circuit working. Now your perceptions are open to the truth of who you are. Your perception circuits are open to divine sacred truth of you. Now let more and more of this living light of love flow in and let it touch your ears, your mouth, and your throat. This is your truth circuit. Let this energy reset your truth circuit so you can speak your truth with gentleness and kindness and stand your ground with grace. Letting more and more of this living light of love flow into your heart space. And from your heart space, every organ, every system, every tissue, every fiber, every cell, even down into the cells, even down into the DNA. And you're being filled with the truth of your own sacredness. and the sacredness of others, and the sacredness of your journey. And with this sense of sacredness, you let it flow out into the energy field that surrounds you. And anything that is not in alignment with that is just dissipated, erased. It's a magic eraser, washed right away. And let's take a little walk in our imagination. We're going to go to a sacred library. So allow yourself to find your way to this big, beautiful building. It has multiple stories, big, beautiful entrance. And as you walk into the entrance, there are tables here and there, and there are stacks of books everywhere, and many, many stories of books, many levels of books. And you notice at the very center of the building, directly above you, is this beautiful stained glass window. Notice the beautiful stained glass window. And as you are looking at it, you realize that this is not pieces of glass, but rather beings of light coming together to create this beautiful visual for you. Perhaps it's just random pieces, random colors connected together. Perhaps it's an actual picture. Whatever you see is what is right for you. And now you notice that you have ascended to the third level up by watching that stained glass window. It's like you elevated, levitated to the third level. And there are books that are open on the table. And as you walk around, you can look at these books. You can see there's lots of things written in there. There's so much that you would find interesting. Find the book that is your book, the book you're writing for yourself. This is the book of you. And notice now that there has been lies you've been told and lies you've told yourself. Stories about why you should be unhappy. Stories about why people don't like you the way you would like to be liked. Stories about why you're not successful. And notice that right now, they have been lined through and X'd out and blotted out. They no longer function in your life. And now a new truth is being written for you. Perhaps you can see the words written. Perhaps you just have a sense of it. Or perhaps they're being written, but you can't really read it yet. That's okay. This is all on a spirit level. But feel the truth is being written about you, who you truly are. And it's a sacred truth. It's a beautiful, sacred truth. And take a pen that is on the nearby table. And sign your book. Sign your book, your name, the truth of who you really are. And leave the pen and leave the book. Look back up at the stained glass window and allow yourself to be levitated back down to the main floor. And on the main floor now, there's the librarian. And the librarian has a gift for you. Perhaps it's a word or a thought or a feeling or some symbolic object. Maybe it's a book or a pen that is in alignment with this meditation so far. Maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's a whistle or a toy. Receive that with deep gratitude. And you realize that you have something that you would like to give this librarian as a gift of gratitude for this moment, this time, this space. Maybe it's a word or thought or feeling, a handshake, or maybe it's a symbolic object. Give your gift now. Even if you may not understand what its significance might be, give your gift and allow yourself to walk away from this library, back out through those big main doors, back into this time and space, back into the here and now. Take a breath, exhale, and welcome back. If someone would get the center lights, we'll do communion. Then if you have a question about your guided meditation, we have communion cups in the back if you'd like to get one. Beth, would you bring some up for the visitor here? Forgot to tell you. Anybody else need one? So this is communion. This is where we honor the sacredness of Jesus' journey. Join me in prayer, would you please? Take your little wafer. Loving Spirit of light, as we take this into our body, thank you. We thank you for all that life is teaching us. Help us to taste the truth of who we really are. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen. Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it, and help us to understand the truth of who we are, and help us to recognize when the lies emerge. Help us to work through the lies and into the truth. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen. Who's going to do communion today? Can't remember. Contribution? Somebody was going to do contribution, I forgot who it was. Oh, it was Mimi. Were you going to do contribution?
Oh, so
Oops. I'll let you get the baskets going and then tell them what you have to say. Oh.
hi guys. So I'm here in front of you asking for help. So some of you may know that I have been working, studying very hard, moving through emotion code, body code, and belief code. And I have been advancing in my practice step by step. I'm in the very last leg of belief code, and I'm now at the stage where I would need volunteers. So the way it works is that it's basically an exchange. I will help you find and unroot beliefs that may make your life difficult, whatever they may be, related to money or health or relationships or, whatever they are. And this is my help with you, for you. And then with your presence, you would help me gather the number of sessions that I need to finally get my accreditation. It's an exchange. And because we are doing this as a community, I would like any donation that you would be willing to give to be toward the church. donation-based thing. Please find me if you're willing to participate in this exchange. I'm very grateful for your presence and your thoughts and your help, and for my place in this group. Thank you.
Thank you. And on that note, the contribution is going around. We finally got the bill from when we had the water break. It was almost $2,000. So that's gonna. Phil had filled out some forms so that we could get a discount on that, but that hasn't shown up yet. So, yikes. It's pretty scary. So if you'd be willing to help us out with that, with donations, that'd be great. Want to let you know we have a manifesting workshop on Saturday, April 5th from 10 to noon. Here's the little flyer. So we've been talking about manifesting. So all kinds of wonderful things going on in the Divine Fellowship. There is a cost for that. There's flyers in the back. Take a look at that. Michelle Lanigan is the presenter. If you ever heard her speak, it's pretty wonderful stuff.
And that's also a church fundraiser.
It's also for church fundraiser. Yes. So thank you for that. Am I forgetting anything else? I don't know that I am. Yes.
Just the Course in Miracles on Friday.
Course in Miracles on Friday. Tuesday is emotion code here, and then right after services is Seimei. So Andrew's here. All right, let's do an energy circuit for the folks online, and then we'll do our energy circuit here. So rub your hands together really fast. We're still connected to that bright energy, bringing it into your crown. Oh, did I ask if you had any other questions about that? I didn't. Hold that thought. Okay. Anybody have a question about your guided meditation? What you gave and what you received? It's on. Sorry about that. I got all sidetracked.
The building you directed us to, I've been in many times, and it's always surrounded by people on the stairs outside as well. But I had never seen that stained glass window before, and it was continually moving and evolving and changing, whatever I felt.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, really. The gift that I was given was a word. It said understanding. Okay.
Beautiful.
And the gift I gave back was a bookmark.
Ah, okay. So the word understanding, this is so that you can understand and you can be understood. So it's, I think sometimes it's really hard for us to be heard. So the gift is going to be divine source is going to assist that process for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The bookmark. This is marking your place. This is you. It's valid right here, right now. This is where you are. So don't worry about what happened in the past. Don't worry about the future. Right here, right now. This is to mark you in this moment so that you can live the highest and best that you can.
Sometimes I just feel like I'm stuck in that one spot, and I'd like to move on.
So let's look at the lie that incorporates, okay? So the lie is this moment is painful. This moment is not good.
Exactly, but I really am not comfortable sharing it.
No, I get it.
Okay.
So, but the truth is, divine presence is in this moment with you.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
do
what
feel-
that bookmark is here to mark for you.
And I do
I'm
feel
right
that.
here.
Thank you. I do feel that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next.
That doesn't minimize that you got challenges. I hear you. Bless you. Yeah.
I received a platinum chain, a long, beautiful chain with a crystal pendulum at the bottom of the chain. So it was a pendulum. And I gave a Seimei healing to the
Library?
lady in the library.
Okay, so we use a pendulum for divination, and that is finding out the truth,
Yes.
right? So, because pendulums don't lie, you know, when we do it, right? So this is about discerning what divine spirit is communicating to you, giving you that divine guidance that you're looking for is coming for you. And you giving the healing, this is you sharing who you really are, the truth of that. Okay.
Well, the fear is my mind is interfering with the message.
So your fear is your mind is interfering with your message.
Coming through.
Yeah, so, but your heart knows the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me.
So I received a crystal box with a crystal or iridescent pen inside.
Do you
And-
write?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I need to do a little bit more.
Well, rather than need, the time and energy and space is being supported, divinely supported, so that you can do that.
And I gifted her a very small little gold bell.
Oh, gold bell. So whenever anything is gold, that is about value, about worth. And this is the ring true. So this gold bell is going to help you notice when you are in a place of ring true. And then you can write.
Thank you.
Make sense? I love it. Love it.
For me, the most significant part was...
Could you speak just a little louder?
For me, the most significant part was when I entered in the library, and even before you said, you instructed us to see the colored glass, I was seeing Mary. She called me up, and I went up, I raised in front of her. And what happened is that there were like pieces of me flying away. They were leaving me. And they were all dark. They were cloudy. And all those beats, they flew into a book. And what was left was just light. And she transformed whatever was written in the book into light.
Wonderful.
I signed the book, but I don't know what was written. I really don't know.
So the truth was written. The truth of who you are. The darkness, all the lies that you've been told, all the deceptions that you've bought into of not good enough, all that stuff, they've been neutralized. Now you can be real. Radiant, energetic, authentic light.
The thing is that everything, I would see it before your words. Like,
So that tells you you are right where you need to be, right at the same time you were receiving it, right when you're on your right path.
yes,
So second guessing is part of the lie.
yes.
Trust the process. You can trust you're being guided.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One more. Right there. Just the back row is talking. I don't know.
I saw purple, and then I was given a rock that was in the shape of a heart, and then I read the words, "You are loved," and then I gave a hug.
Wonderful. So purple is this divine connection. So this is being just drenched in this divine love that loves us even when we're believing the lie. The love is still there. So this allows that love in. And then what did you receive again?
A heartstone.
A heart stone. Okay. What kind of stone was it? Just a rock? Just a rock? Okay, so this is giving you strength and power to be the love that you are. And what did you give? I'm sorry?
A hug.
You gave a hug. So this is the expression of that heart. So you've been given a really strong heart. And what did it say on it?
You are love.
You are love. So that's the truth of who you are. And it's a strong truth. And you can count on that. It's unbreakable truth. And then you can share it. Take it on and share it. All right, now let's do an energy circuit for the folks online. Rub your hands together really, really fast. Still connected in. Bring that energy to your heart space. From your heart space to your left hand to right hand, and then back to your heart space. Thank you. This connects an energetic circuit. If I were to stand up, that would create a heart. If I put my hands down, that would be a heart shape. But we're putting it up here because it's in the camera. And you're sitting down. So you'll feel the energy build between your hands. This is not your energy. This is divine energy. This is sacred energy. This is love. This is love that you're worthy to receive. Bring that into your heart space. Have a great week, and we will see you next time. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.